Yes, people love your outfit, by the way. Yeah, they stand.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of On the Line. We are live, bitch. It's your boy, Kris Avalon. And yes, I'm doing on the line real quick because I wanted to just give my overall opinion of what's been going on with this whole Britney Spears situation, the conservatorship, her testimony, all of it. As someone who is a Britney fan, who has been a Britney fan since the beginning of her career, you know, Born to Make You Happy is like one of my favorite songs. And it seems like that song is a testament of how she's been treated. Like, people, to me, it just seems like people think like she's just put on this earth to just satisfy a lot of people in the second and third. And I did not realize how bad of a situation that she was in, and that I always felt that some of her family were vultures, including her father. But after that breakdown yesterday, they are the devil incarnate. So we're going to break all this down. If y'all haven't heard all of this stuff, I'm going to break everything down. I'm going to give my overall opinion. We're going to have to share clips, bring up past clips, because, you know, when I was doing Wednesday Night Kiki, my other show with EJ, we were breaking down a lot of the Britney story. We were talking a lot about the conservatorship. We were talking about a lot of these things. And we pretty much coming to the same conclusion, where she was sitting out here telling me that she's okay, that she's in good spirits. I could definitely tell from her facial expressions, the tone of her voice, her body language, that she wasn't being 100,000%, 100% truthful. I said 100,000%, but yeah, it's a lot of numbers. We could say 100,000%, 100%. She wasn't being entirely truthful in the situation. And we're going to break all that down. So for those of you who, you know, just to sum it up, if you want to read the entire transcript, you could definitely head over to Variety. They posted a full statement. The audio has leaked. I've listened to it. And yes, I gagged about the whole situation. But to summarize up everything inside, you know, just to summarize it all, she basically said that her father forced her to go on tour in 2018. That was the residency that she did in Vegas. And also when she had to do the little quick world tour that she did after the Vegas residency wrapped. She didn't want to do the residency, but she did it because she was threatened by her father and her management. She also claimed that her management, you know, at her father's behest, force-fed her medication and lied to the court about her condition in order to maintain the conservatorship. She also claimed that her family, doctors and nurses, held her prisoner in her home. She also said that she was, at one point, they changed her medication and had put her on lithium, which can cause, overall, in time, if you take lithium for a long period of time, it can cause life-term damage to your brain. She also was sent to a lockdown rehab program in Beverly Hills. I actually think that was the picture that we saw of her, where Sam was kind of blocking her, and then she was in a little sundress and she looked disheveled. I think that was the photo from that time where they had sent her to the rehab facility in Beverly Hills. She was told that there was no doors on the room that she would stay in, that there was a chef who had to provide, you know, basically cook her food, that she was constantly tested. People were lying, saying she wasn't taking her medication. They were saying she was being difficult when she actually said in the testimony that she pretty much was choreographing her entire show on her own. Now, if she has dementia, as her father claimed, and this is the picture that I'm talking about, I think this is around the time when they had her on whatever drugs that they're on. I'm thinking lithium. I believe that because this kind of matches what she was saying. So I'm assuming this photo is from that moment. It's overly disgusting that her family has doped this girl up just so that way they can keep her in control, that they're forcing her out here, saying that she has dementia in her 20s, because I know nobody who's ever had dementia at such a young age, and saying that, but if you have dementia, how are you able to perform on stage? How are you able to retain, be able to memorize the lyrics to your songs, be able to memorize the choreography to your performance? Wouldn't you forget all that if you had dementia? Like, it make sense. And the fact of the matter that the judges have allowed this to go on for 13 years to no kind of, and not allowing any kind of change, or looking at her like, hasn't she progressed from that time in 2008? Now I get it. In 2008, yes, around that time, she was going through it. She was having the mental breakdown, postpartum depression. It happens when you have kids. The overwhelmingness of the media and people like Perez Hilton, who got off and made their financial bones off of the misery of her and countless celebrities. And I'm gonna get into the whole Perez Hilton situation in a minute, because, you know, he posted a video on his channel where he talked about Britney, and people were getting upset with him because he talked about it. And not only that, he was saying that he was being bullied by the Britney fans because of how he treated her in the past. Now, I'm gonna get into all that in a second of, does he have a right to feel the way he does over the whole bullying situation? But I just want to focus on this. So basically, I'm not gonna play the audio. I'm gonna just read it because I don't want to get this video flagged. I don't want to get it pulled down, and I want as many eyes on this as possible. And I also want your thoughts. So if you guys have any thoughts in this situation or anything I'm saying, if you want to add to the conversation, if you're watching live, feel free to tweet me at Kris Avalon OFFI1. It's supposed to be official, but you know, Twitter likes to play games and don't want to put the whole damn thing. So feel free to tweet me on the thing below. Or you can leave me comments and stuff on YouTube, because I'm live on there as well. So I definitely want to hear what you guys got to say, for those of you who are all Britney fans. So she says, not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad, and my dad acted like he didn't know what I was told. I had to be tested over the Christmas holidays before they sent me away. When my kids went home to Louisiana, he was the one that approved all of it. My whole family did nothing. She also accused her father of reveling in her situation, in particular when he sent her to a lockdown rehab program in Beverly Hills, and said the control he had over someone as powerful as me, he loved the control to hurt his own daughter 100,000%. He loved it. She also said, that's why I'm telling you this again 2 years later, after I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy. It's a lie. I thought maybe if I said that enough, maybe I might become happy, because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I'm traumatized. You know, fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry. It's insane. And I'm depressed. I cry every day. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think how the state of California can have all this written in the court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing, just hire with my money another person to keep my dad on board. Ma'am, my dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship and my management who played a huge role in punishing me when I said no, ma'am, they should be in jail. Their cruel tactics working for Miley Cyrus as she smokes on joints on stage at the VMAs. Nothing is ever done to this generation for doing wrong things. And she says, but my precious body, who has worked for my dad for the past fucking 13 years, trying to be so good and pretty, so perfect when he works me so hard, when I do everything I'm told, and the state of California allowed my father, ignorant father, to take his own daughter, who only has a role with me if I work with him. They've set back the whole course and allowed him to do that to me. That's given these people I've worked for way too much control. They also threatened me and said, if I don't go, then I have to go to court. And it will be more embarrassing to me if the judge publicly makes this evidence we have. And what I don't understand is that, okay, she's been following all the stuff. She's been following all the protocol. She's been listening. She's been doing what she's been told. And people still treat her as if she's this lunatic that she doesn't have a say in the fight. And my thing is, if I'm able to be a show pony for my family, for my father, for the management, for the record company, if you're treating me like a slave, literally, I'm a slave for you. Like a lot of her songs, if you really pay attention, definitely ring true. I'm a slave for you, Lucky. You know, there's been a lot of songs where she's talking about how lonely and depressed she is. Every time, that was such another sad song where she wound up, you know, committing suicide in the tub and that's like there seem to be a lot of these dark moments that we've seen, and people just look at it as, oh, it's entertainment. But a lot of times you have to realize like these artists are people as well. We also have a clip of her talking about prior to the court case, and I want to also play on the Paris Hilton clip on what Paris had to say. So I want to play all those clips, and then we'll come back with more of my take on this situation.
I know that there have been a lot of comments and a lot of people saying a lot of different things about me, but I just want to let you guys know that I am fine. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I'm sending all of you guys a lot of prayers, wishes, and a lot of love.
I haven't even watched the film yet because I've been so busy, but I do want to watch it maybe tonight or in the next couple days. But I heard it's just really a really sad movie, and I don't know. It makes me really feel for her because she's such a sweet girl and has such a big heart, and I just can't imagine being controlled like that, you know, when you're an adult and you've worked your whole life for building this empire, and then just to be treated like a child is just not fair.
And I absolutely agree. It's like this girl has made so much money. She's built such an empire for herself. She's a girl who literally came from Kentwood, Louisiana with nothing but a dream of being a pop star. And I think that's the one thing we always have to learn. It's like we need to learn to protect young children. And to me, this is no different than human trafficking. Like this is basically an A-list version of it. Like you basically, a prime example of it actually, that you've taken someone so young and you basically are trafficking them. Like you're forcing them when to eat, when to sleep, when to get dressed, what they can do. Like she can't go shopping for herself. But I get it. If she has issues where she doesn't know how to control her finances, that's one thing. But then on the other hand, if you're a grown ass person, you should be able to spend your money however you want. If I want to go out and spend $200,000 on something, I can fucking do that because it's my money and I worked hard for it. I don't understand why they won't allow this girl to do whatever she wants to do with her own damn money. Now, my thing is this. Okay, so the whole control situation, like you want her to just at least allow her to hire her own attorney so that way there could be some sort of leeway and best interest for her. Once the conservatorship ends, and this is something we need to think about, I don't think I've heard anybody else talk about this. Once the conservatorship ends, right, what happens to Britney? I feel like once the conservatorship ends and she is disassociated, like she's emancipated herself from this whole situation, fire the management team, chop all of your fucking family. Because what pissed me off about this whole situation is that her mother, brother, all of them didn't do nothing. And through an attorney, her mother is saying that she is concerned amid the singer's conservatorship situation. So she went, and when she spoke to the judge, Brenda Penny, yesterday, Lynn spoke through her attorney saying that she's a very concerned mother. And this is according to Vulture. Well, according to Us Weekly, I'm sorry. They said that Jones encouraged Penny to listen to Britney's plea to hire her own attorney instead of using court-appointed Sam Ingham III. Also helped Britney change her care plan to address her needs. Jones wanted immediate action to be taken. Now, I do agree, like, let her hire her own attorney. Let her have someone who can have her best interest at heart in what her care plan is. Allow the girl to have that, because I think like after this, once the conservatorship and all that's done, what needs to happen for Britney, and this is what I didn't hear anybody else talk about, but this is me analyzing the situation. I feel this girl is going to need a lifetime of therapy from dealing with the trauma of this shit for 13 years. Not only the stuff that she's gone through in Hollywood, but the trauma of dealing with a conservatorship, someone controlling her. How do you get out of that situation? Because once that chapter is done, you still have to deal with the trauma of what you've been going through the 13 years. Now, I do want to bring up some of the tweets as well. And Lynn, fuck you. Like, I'm not buying into any of this bullshit that you're saying about all of a sudden you're concerned about your daughter. You should have been concerned about your daughter from the beginning. Like, I don't understand. Your parents are there to protect you. But how are you not protecting your own daughter? You that afraid of your husband? Like, how do you not feel like you should be strong enough of a woman to have a say-so in protecting your child? Or is the money more important? And sometimes I feel like blood don't make you family. That's the one good thing about being a homosexual. It's like, blood don't make you family. When our family chops us, we can develop our own family. And once she gets that IUD taken out, and I know she wants to have kids with Sam, and she needs to get on that because she's 39 years old. You know, women don't have the luxury of just holding eggs and having a baby whenever they feel like it. The clock is always ticking on a woman, unfortunately, when it comes to the reproductive system. But I do want to bring up, we could leave up the Justin Timberlake tweet. But there were some celebrities that spoke out on her behalf, like Mariah Carey said, "We love you, Britney. Stay strong." My girl Brandy says, "Sending all my love and support to Britney Spears and her fans." Tanashi said, "We love you so much." At Britney Spears. We got Halsey said, "Bless Britney, and I hope with my whole heart she is awarded freedom from this abusive system. She deserves it more than anything. I admire her courage in speaking up for herself today." But the one gag, honey, was the one from the one and only ex, Justin Timberlake, who posted the following and said, "After what we saw today, we should all be supporting Britney at this time, regardless of our past, good and bad. And no matter how long it was, what's happening to her is just not right. No woman should ever be restricted from making decisions about her own body. No one should ever be held against their will or ever have to ask permission to access everything they've worked so hard for." And then was saying how he and his wife said they love, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But there were some people that were upset about the situation, saying, "Well, why is Justin speaking out? Didn't he partake in the situation that happened to her?" It's like, okay, so they had a situation in their relationship, a minor hiccup. Alleged cheating. She allegedly slept with Wade Robson, you know, who choreographed a lot NSYNC's music, Justin's music, choreographed for Britney. I'm a slave for you, that infamous choreography that was Wade Robson. So there's that alleged affair situation that went on back in the day that she cheated, which he alluded to in Cry Me a River in another damn song. I forgot which one it was. Y'all can remind me in the situation. But look, as artists, they all sit and write things that benefit. And yeah, Justin ain't no damn innocent when he would go in interviews and dog her and say certain things. And we know with her and Janet in that situation. But we can't just sit and put everything off on him like it's his fault or where she is. Yes, they had their little scuffle, their little situation. Britney, from what I remember, they seem to have moved on from it. And he's moved on with his life. He's married. He's got his 2 kids. Britney's got her 2 kids. She wants to have more with her current boyfriend. But that's not the issue. The fact is that, you know what? It was cute. It was a cute gesture that Justin decided to speak out on his ex-girlfriend and say that, yeah, she should be going through this situation and that we should be praying for her and we should be trying to root to get her out of this situation. My thing is, what do we do? How does she get out of this? Because I don't understand how you're wrapped up in 2 conservatorships. I don't understand how you have a conservatorship on the business aspect, which is you have someone who controls her finances, who controls if she could drive a car, wherever she can go, and her cell phone privileges and this sort of thing. How do you control that? And then on the other hand, you're controlling her personal endeavors where, oh, you got an IUD in her and she can't even take it out to have a child. Like, who controls what a woman does with her reproductive? And I had to find it hilarious that Nutmeg McCain on The View was up in here trying to all of a sudden give a damn about a woman's reproductive system. When this bitch be up in here trying to control women's bodies, when she tells you you shouldn't have a fucking abortion. So when you get out of your whole conservative, when you get up your little conservative fake ass pulpit, then you can sit up in here and feel genuinely concerned for Britney Spears. Until then, sit your fat double chin ass down over in the corner somewhere. We don't give a fuck what Nutmeg King gotta say about Britney because she don't care about no fucking body. That little half retarded ass child of hers and that ugly ass husband she got over there working the Federalist. Focus on that and being a bitch over at The View that nobody wants to be around. But bringing it back to Miss Britney Spears, I feel for my girl. I'm hoping that she gets out of the situation. I don't know what we can do at this point. Like the stuff is out there. The girl's pleading. She is letting you know what's going on. I was like, what's going on? They said my mic was muted and there was an overlay playing. But anyway, we live, child. So, yeah. So my thing is with the whole, with Britney and everything, I just feel like, okay, so what do we do at this point? Like we have all the paperwork. Everything is put out there. They're well aware of what this girl has been going through. So what happens now? Like we know that there are corrupt judges that you could pay off to be in your favor. We know they're child. I mean, hello, look at Erica Jane husband, how he was sitting up in there funding Gavin Newsom and a whole bunch of other people. When you have money, absolute power corrupts. So Jamie out probably out here buying people, buying judges and things for people with Britney's money, since he has control over it. Talking about that they're sending her to a rehab facility for $20,000 and she's paying for it. How the hell you sending somebody somewhere against their will and telling them they got the nerve to say, bitch, you paying for it? The fuck out of here. I ain't paying for shit. Now don't get me wrong. Like I'm sure the girl's getting the help that she needs, and I'm hoping she gets the help that she needs, but you ain't gonna tell me you're gonna force me to go somewhere and threaten me and saying that it's coming out of my pocket. So overall, I feel for this girl. I'm hoping that she got this whole situation. And before I forget, I do want to play. Not play it, but I want to bring up that she spoke about. She went to Instagram and apologized to her fans for lying to them. Which, from watching Framing Britney Spears, and it's funny because I knew that she was lying and this, that, and the other, but I didn't want to go too hard on her because it's like, I get it, but she's in a fragile state. But I was saying, like, when I was watching the video where she said the documentary, the Framing Britney Spears, because I didn't see the one over in the UK. I didn't see that one, but I did see Framing Britney Spears over on Hulu, and she was pretty much saying that while she didn't see the documentary, but she was upset over what they were saying about her. And it's like, but you didn't see it though. If you didn't see it, how do you be upset about what was said in it? So I think maybe she had Erica Mena when Wendy Williams dragged her ass over the truth about Safari. And she was like, what, y'all spilling too much truth up in here, genuine concerns. And I have to, for protection with the people who's controlling my life, I have to play along and say I'm upset about this video, when in fact y'all spilling facts. So she issued a statement, said the following on Instagram. She said, I just want to tell you guys a little secret. I believe as people, we all want the fairy tale life. And by the way, I've posted, my life seems to look and be pretty amazing. I think that's what we all strive for. That was one of my mother's best traits. No matter how shitty a day was when I was younger, for the sake of me and my siblings, she always pretended like everything was okay. I'm bringing this to people's attention because I don't want people to think my life is perfect, because it's definitely not at all. And if you have read anything about me in the news this week, you obviously really know now it's not. I apologize for pretending like I've been okay for the past 2 years. I did it because of my pride, and I was embarrassed to share what happened to me. But honestly, who doesn't want to capture their Instagram in a fun light? Believe it or not, pretending that I'm okay has actually helped. So I decided to post this quote because because by golly, if you're going through hell, I feel like Instagram has helped me have a cool outlet to share my presence, existence, and to simply feel like I matter despite what I was going through, and hey, it worked. So I've decided to start reading more fairy tales. Okay, that was interesting. But from what I got from all of that, because she seemed to be all over the place with that, is that, you know what, she was pretending that she's okay when in fact she's not. And my thing is, no need to apologize. You don't need to apologize to your fans. Like, your fans have been the ones who have had your back from the beginning. The Free Britney movement has had your back from the beginning. And I feel like these people that were talking mad shit, like the TMZs and all the rest of them, owe the Free Britney movement and the Britney fans an apology for the way that they went at them over this situation, talking about they're a bunch of bullies or they're just rocking the boat and they're doing this and they're doing that. When they weren't. These are people who are genuinely concerned for someone whose own family is more interested in her finances and living off of this girl than protecting her. And she's not the only one that goes through. There's a lot of celebrities in this industry that are dealing with this that you're not aware of, where you have a parent who would rather their child be trotted out like a whore on stage than protecting the girl when the girl don't want to go out there on stage half naked. The bigger picture is, oh, they care about the money. When you literally are treating your child like a show pony, and this is one of the reasons why, even though my parents, I don't think would have done this to me, but I feel like that people within the circle would have done this. This is why I feared putting myself out there as a kid actor or as a kid performer. Because once upon a time when I was younger, I was going on auditions and I wanted to be a child star and this, that, and the third. But then I would see and hear all the traumatic situations that was going on with young celebrities. It scared me away from fully pursuing an acting career, which is why I pulled away from being a performer, an actor, singer, dancer, that sort of thing. That's why I kind of pulled away from that and just started doing little things here and there, working behind the scenes in entertainment, and started falling more into media. So that way I wouldn't have to necessarily do the more entertainment aspect. Now I have my aspirations as an adult now that I want to do more acting and performing because I'm well aware of who and more self-assured of who I am. But as a child, I feel like I've always had that fear in the back of my head that I would have been slightly exploited if I was around the wrong people. And my parents, they don't, you know, as strong as they are, they don't necessarily, and protective they are of me and my siblings and this, that, and the other, they don't necessarily know how to navigate the business because they're not really inclined with understanding the industry. They're just going to probably listen and believe what they're being told. Although I pretty much believe my parents do have strong instincts, there are people who are in this industry that are manipulative and will prey on a child and say all kinds of shady, twisted shit just to get the show pony to put on a show. So, moving on from that, I want to get into the whole Perez Hilton thing. So Perez Hilton did a video on his YouTube yesterday. And that was the thing, like I was in the middle of this, I was hanging out with a friend, we were watching Cruella. And then after that, I jumped on the line. And usually what I do is I go on YouTube, I started checking and seeing like what's going on in entertainment and sort of thing. First video that popped up was Perez Hilton talking on his own channel about the whole Britney Spears conservatorship, this whole situation, and how he immediately jumped into apologizing for the way he treated her back in the day during his blogging days, and how he was being vehemently bullied by a lot of the Britney fans over the coverage that he did of her in the past. Now, I'm of two minds of this because I've had conversations with Perez where I follow his channel, I watch his videos at times, you know, yes, I watch the competition. I know it's hard to believe. I know a lot of these bitches out here will not admit it, but a lot of times I'm out here watching my competition and I'm watching a lot of other bloggers and vloggers and that sort of thing and seeing what it is that y'all doing. Not that I'm copying because I got my own style and shit, but I am out here watching stuff. And I am a fan of a lot of other bloggers. Like, I'm not a shady bitch where I'm just going to be like, oh, I don't like so-and-so. Although there are some of y'all I don't like. I'm not going to go into that whole conversation, but that's a whole nother show. But in the meantime, I feel like Perez has evolved. I think a lot of people still want to hold on to this old way of how bloggers or certain people are based off of their overall attitude and the things that they've done in the beginning. But as adults, you know, and as human beings, we do evolve over the years. And I believe that he has done the work and has evolved in how he covers celebrities. He doesn't do the whole cum stains and fire crotch and writing all that shit on artist pages, on their faces when he would write about them and say really mean, nasty stuff. He's not a mean girl anymore. He's not Regina George. Although I did live for that meme that's out there of Regina George as Jamie Spears, and they said that what was it that she, and then they show her getting hit by the bus. It was like Jamie Spears that she did her sister wrong. They show her like getting hit by a bus. You'll probably see that little gif running around somewhere. But anyway, it was a cute, funny one. But anyway, to get back to the story, Attitude did an article and said that he needs to stop talking about her. And I'm like, should he? I mean, if he's going to continue to talk about her, the one thing that he's going to have to realize is that you're going to get those people like Justin Timberlake when you come out and you speak on a certain celebrity based on your history. You're going to get those fans that are going to say, well, you were out here saying this, and they're going to always pull out the receipts, and they're always going to dog you, and they're always going to talk shit, and they're always going to say, well, you did this, and you don't have a right to speak on her when you were out here bullying her, you were out here saying certain things. And what Perez is going to have to do, sorry, but you're going to have to constantly apologize because of things you've done in the past. This is the thing that, unfortunately, the way the cookie crumbles. Is that you're always going to have to apologize and atone for certain things that you've done. This is, I don't like to call it cancel culture. I call it accountability culture. You're going to have to be held consistently accountable for your actions. So the things you said about Britney in the past, you're going to have to consistently atone for it. That I don't agree with people saying you should die, go to hell, or use the F word, or whatever the case is, like when they go extreme with the bullying. I don't like that. I feel like we all as human beings and all as people can have legitimate conversations. Like adults, like grown adults. But I get it. Some of y'all out here ain't got that range. Not a lot of y'all have the mental capacity to have an adult conversation. I get that. However, I'm one of those people that I try to always look at all sides of a situation before I jump to a conclusion. And I feel like because I have seen, and I do watch Perez when he talks about celebrities and he's giving his opinions, I do feel like he has a tone and he has changed his ways. But maybe, you know what? I mean, it's his job as in media to talk about celebrity. That's how he makes his money. He's going to constantly have to find his ways of making his money. And unfortunately, he's going to make his money off Britney. And I think that's where people feel upset about it. It's like, oh, well, you're saying that you're sorry and you're atoning. But on the other hand, you putting out these videos and stuff, you're going to financially benefit off of talking about this girl that once upon a time you bullied. So, like I said, I'm of two minds about it. While I've seen him evolve, I don't know if I know people, attitude, and a lot of people want him to stop talking about Britney, but that's unfortunate because he's in media. This is the way he makes his money. He's going to talk about people. Wendy Williams talks shit about people all the time. She makes her money off these celebrities. So it's like, there's so many people out here. It's unfortunate just the way the cookie crumbles. So overall, I say this. Leave your comments. I definitely want to know what you all feel about this. My overall assessment of the situation, because I know I was just like trying to break it all down and make sense of it. I really feel like Britney, I'm really hoping and praying that she can get out of this conservatorship, get it reevaluated, that she actually has the ability and the power to fire her father, get him off her conservatorship, stop her family from making money off of her, financially benefiting from her, allow this girl to have control over her music, her touring. If she wants to do a Vegas residency, if she has the ability to sit and choreograph her own shows, she should be able to have control over her life. If you feel that she's capable enough and she's mentally capable enough to come up with ideas, and they talk about that they got mad at her over the fact that when she refused to do a dance move. Artists have a right to decide whether or not they want to do a certain dance move or choreography, whatever the case is. That's what all dancers do. You think, like, when you look at Madonna and all these other people, you think the choreography is always the same from the conception? Shit changes all the time. When you watch until you get to the final show. I've been in many shows where something starts out in the beginning one way, and when you have 3 to 6 weeks of rehearsal, by the time you get to the end, the show has changed completely. So if people think that a show is always one way from the beginning, I don't know what fucking crack y'all smoking, but that's not the reality. So to not allow this girl to have control over her music, her performances, her shows, when she could, or her personal life, I think is inhumane. I think it's disgusting. And in my opinion, Britney should be allowed to have some sort of decision making in her life or some sort of control. So I feel like that's all I have on this whole thing. But what I want you all to do is definitely leave your comment. I feel like I've checked all the boxes. I can't think of if I have anything. You know, this is off the dome. Like, I don't write nothing down. I was just thinking, you know, I had all my little, you know, the little side thingies open and something the other. So if I missed anything, definitely leave a comment. I definitely want to hear you all's opinions on the whole Free Britney movement. I'm rooting for her. I'm really hoping she gets out of this. And what I'm also got my fingers crossed about is that we finally get to have Britney tell her side of the story. I don't know if she can get Oprah to do it or whoever, but I definitely would love to hear Britney's side of the story and see what she's been dealing with and what she's going through, and having someone who interviews her show genuine concern for this girl. And like I said, and I'm gonna keep saying it, hashtag motherfucking Free Britney. Okay. So shout out to her. Shout out to Chris Crocker for his latest video on the whole Britney situation, and everybody else out there who is rooting for this girl. Until next time, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning into this episode. Definitely, like I said before, leave your comments, because I definitely want to hear what you all got to say on this whole Britney conservatorship and the Free Britney movement. So until next time, ciao, darlings. I want to get my wine.
Yes, some people love your outfit, by the way. Yeah, they stand.
This is for faggots.